If you're driving a long distance and run out of gas, what do? Hey May would of course choose to drive to a gas station, but unfortunately, this place has been abandoned for years. Luckily, there's a solar charging panel in the trunk, as it turns out to be a high-end hybrid car. At this moment, he sees a prominent sign on a black building across the street that says, Black Museum. Why is there a museum in such a desolate place? Driven by curiosity, he decided to explore. Upon arrival, he found the doors and windows locked, with a sign saying they open after 11 o'clock. He checked his watch and saw it wasn't time yet. The scorching weather led him to drink a bottle of soda, and he conscientiously remembered not to litter. At this moment, he noticed a car parked here. It turns out the museum there is someone. As 11 o'clock arrived, a man in a suit opened the door. He originally thought many tourists would visit the exhibit today, but he only saw one person, Jaime. The two made brief introductions, revealing that he was the curator. The curator informed Jaime that if she was faint-hearted, she should enter cautiously. This further piqued Jaime's curiosity. What unknown secrets did this place hold? At the curator's request, Jaime underwent a simple security check. As she went inside, she only saw some simple wax figures. What followed were some crime artifacts, each with its own real story. Black Girl eventually curiously looked at this mannequin that resembled a hairdresser. And the story of this film officially begins. Watching patiently will definitely overturn your understanding. In an upper floor of a hospital in New York, where there is a scientific research lab, and the former curator used to work there. At this moment, Dr. Dawson is trying to save a patient. Due to not knowing that the patient had taken other medication earlier, the administered dosage conflicted, ultimately leading to the patient's demise, because of the inability to detect the patient's symptoms to the most. Oh no! At this time, the curator found him, and told him that there might be a solution to this problem. He took Dawson to their neural technology research lab, where they had recently developed a device that can sense the nervous system of other organisms. In simple terms, as long as the other party wears this device, the receiver can experience any sensation from the other person's body. The curator told the doctor that as long as you have this receiver, you can not only empathize with the patient, but also won't cause any harm to your own body. The doctor finally chose to seize this opportunity, and the device was successfully implanted into his brain nerves. The test was also very successful. Dawson was also able to feel the pain transmitted from the other side. With the device, Dawson started to show remarkable skills in surgery, enduring various pain. The patient's symptoms with his sensory help saved many people. However, one day a senator faced an emergency and was sent at the hospital. Nobody knew what the illness was. In the urgent situation, Dawson stepped in again, beginning to sense the patient. At this point, he became extremely uncomfortable, but had no clues until the instrument's data stopped. With the senator already deceased, he also began to lose power. The final test results showed poisoning. Dawson personally experienced what it felt like to die. Upon waking up, he underwent a full examination and was surprisingly unharmed. From then on, Dawson also began to experience subtle changes regarding pain. For experiencing the patient's pain, he unexpectedly felt an indescribable sense of satisfaction. He had become addicted to the pain. Without patience, he began to feel restless. He stayed at the hospital every day, until finally, a patient was brought in. He looked at the patient, as if seeing prey. In his madness, he sensed it was a heart attack, but he hesitated to speak, as he was enjoying the sensation. People also noticed something strange, and hurriedly, he pulled back. At this moment, he felt like his prey had been taken away, and began to feel uncomfortable. He found the curator, wanting to remove the device. The curator, however, told him they were working on another project, and would help him remove the device after some time. Alone at home, Dawson became restless until he smashed the glass in his hand. He started to have a bold idea. He picked up the broken glass shards and pressed them against his fingertips, which gave him a slight sense of satisfaction. He started using various tools to self-harm. As a doctor, he successfully avoided fatal injuries, but this was far from satisfying his desires. At night, he saw a homeless man on the street, took out a stun gun, and brought the man down, then put the instrument on him. He took out a drill and started drilling into the homeless man's head. This gave him an unprecedented sense of fulfillment. Foot sensation. Just as the police car happened to pass by, overwhelmed by the fear of death and pleasure, he was sent to the hospital and completely turned into a vegetative state. The curator, who recounted the entire incident, became thirsty due to the previous air conditioning failure and the hot weather. Kindly, the black lady quickly handed him a bottle of water. What he was going to talk about next was the true story of a terrifying teddy bear.